Hello there, everybody. I am just a nerd, and this is Geekspeak Radio Podcasts. Welcome to Tuko Mgeni. And today's guest, we have the one and only Edu-Gee. How are you, sir?
I'm good.
How are you doing today?
I can't complain and I won't complain.
Amazing. Karibu sana.
Asante sana.
Wewe ndio mgeni wetu wa kwanza.
Hata nimeona mmepewa chai na biskuti.
You know, as a mgeni.
Feels good.
Yeah, kama mgeni, it's a tradition.
Nice.
To be given tea, to be given some
biscuits.
Ukitembeleana.
Kwanza the nice nini cups have been removed.
Alafu hadi table match tumekweka ile mzuri.
This is a real VIP treatment, yo. You guys need to be on this podcast.
Y'all need to come, exactly.
There's free food.
Yeah, so this is Tuko Mgeni episode 1, and we have the one and only Edu-Gee, who we met during the Sun City Radio on air premiere. Was it how many weeks ago?
1 week
like
ago.
One week ago.
Yeah, it's been
it's
about a week ago.
About a week ago. So I'll give Edu a chance to introduce yourself, tell us something interesting, you know, just give us an overview of who Edu-Gee is.
That's a tough one. You know, it's very hard to ask someone, tell us about yourself.
I know it's
That's
the hardest
a tough
question.
Because you're different people to different people. So to one person you're just another guy, to another person you're just...
So who is Edu-Gee in the creative industry?
So I do a lot when it comes to the creative industry, creative space, because I started off with music. I was first an artist.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I used to rap. And then at that time we were trying to get into we need to have a music video. But then there was none shoot for us a music video. So we're like, okay, let me take a camera. I had a friend who had a camera. So I took the camera and then we started shooting our own videos. And that's when I'm like, I prefer making videos than
doing the rap.
Yeah.
Are they still anywhere that
the
you can
raps.
find? Yes.
Oh yeah. Okay, I removed them. I don't know. People keep asking because the first video I ever did was a song I did with Prezo. Yeah, it was called Kamilisha Fraction. So it was the first jam I did with Prez. And then I used to do a lot of videos for other guys now. From then on I started doing videos for Akina Abbas, a lot of other artists. So I did a lot of... In fact, I was the first... If you ask Bien, I was the first person to actually put him on a music video with Wakamba Wawili. He was just doing a chorus.
Dope.
Yeah, so we have him when you're still on the come up, when you're still high schooler.
So wait, so when did you start doing all the... Because, that sounds like it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been almost now 2024, 20 years.
20 years.
Yeah.
All right. That's a
whole grown up.
That's a whole grown up. Yeah, it's actually more than...
ameenda chuo na amegraduate.
But it's more than I thought. I thought you'd say like a decade or something.
No, 20.
So in that decade with the music videos and all that, like how was your growth since you started doing those music videos and all that?
You could say like we've been lucky. Like we've never had... Like we've been lucky. That's all I can say. We've been blessed in terms of access. Because we never really struggled to get a studio to record. We never struggled to get a camera. We never struggled to get locations. Like we literally would just go and ask. And it's weirdly how people will give you stuff whenever you ask. Whenever you assume, hey, watatukazia. No. What's the worst they can say is no.
Yeah.
But then most of the time they don't. They're like, oh, you want to use? Go ahead. You want to use? Go ahead. Come when us, we're like, hey, kwani, what's happening? Well, I guess just saying yes so easily. So it began like that. And then from let me just take throw back Estes. Rafton was the first artist I ever recorded with.
Oh.
Rafton used to do secular songs.
Yeah, I remember those days.
There used to be a studio in South B where all the artists used to go record. You pay for 1 hour. You've gone home with your beat, you've practiced. You come there 1 hour, you've chomwada track in a red side. Everyone used to go there to record. Everybody. So even those songs that used to hit early days of the Kenyan, when the industry was now turning over that new leaf, that's what they used to go record. Just because something Sound Hill Media or something in South B.
Oh, wow.
Everyone used to go there to record.
Amazing. Yeah. And then so those were music videos with amazing artists that this guy has just been name dropping here casually. It's like, that guy. So but how did that now transition to you making film?
So once I got the bug after shooting my own video, I'm like, yo, this looks fun, because now you're exploring other things. Like, you're allowed to be creative, you can experiment. No, and actually we're making the rules as we go along, because there were no rules, because Kenya is known to be very Hollywood-esque when it comes to its production. Like, we want everything to be perfect before we start shooting. Like, that's why you see all the big movies would come shooting. That's why it's not our fault, because all the big movies used to come shoot in Kenya, so they brought that culture here. So Kenyans now usually, notice, like, Kenyans usually have to wait until the shit is legit, and then now okay, let's shoot now.
So can you say, like, that's something that's holding us back?
It's a plus and a minus. It's a double-edged sword, because the quality has to be there, because the Kenyan crew is sought after even in Africa because of our professionalism and our skill set. But then also now the minus comes in. We want everything to be perfect for us to shoot. We're not like Nigeria is just let's just chomoa these things. But I'm seeing it's changing now, and Kenyans are starting that same thing of let's just chomoa. Now imagine combine now with the skill set, and let's start chomoa. Now you see, now as you get great content now of things coming out.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because I've actually I know we've had this discussion, like, stuff coming out on TV. We are used to a certain kind of is it standard, or is it I don't know what to call it, but our shows kind of have the same feel. Yeah. So is that does that come from what you're talking about, like waiting to do something perfectly, or is that something else within the industry?
For that, I think the TV is because they're afraid. It's like the people who make the decisions do not want to don't fix it. If it ain't broken, don't fix it. So let's maintain the same formula. There's no one who has come to disrupt them, so they are using to the same formula. You see, like how Telcom was comfortable until Safaricom came, and then now nobody uses the phone booth anymore.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing when now they've said, okay, this is the formula we know. This is what we stick to. This is what Kenyans want. So that's usually their main argument. So that's why you get those types of shows, because they say the data shows us this is what Kenyan wants. But then you're like we see when we were speaking earlier, no one knew we'd need a touch phone until Steve Jobs gave us one. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
Like, I need a phone. Nowadays you give someone a phone with a button, you're like, why? Because until Steve Jobs gave us the touch screen is when now we went like, oh, actually, I need this. So it's the same with the TV stations and the people who actually distribute this content. They're used to a certain formula, so they will stick to it until someone gets in there and is brave enough to disrupt and say, okay, let's create content for that caters to a lot of people. Because one of them were told is like, Kenyan don't like watching horrors. I was like,
where are our local horror fans in the room?
By the way, that's what I was told. Like, they don't like watching horrors. I'm like, okay, so then why then are the theaters packed during Halloween? Where are those movies? Where are people watching them? So you see, so it's like I don't know where they get their data from, but I'm like, oh, I enjoy watching horrors. I was never asked.
There's a huge discrepancy between their data and what actually happens.
Exactly. So they assume that all of us want love stories. And it's sad now you're seeing TV starting to dumb down the audience. Yeah. Especially now with the reality shows. I especially feel very sad for the generation of ladies growing up, because the active that they're being given on TV is detrimental to even their own well-being in terms of psychological and what they expect from life. Because you're seeing the women that are being celebrated. So if your young girl is growing up and seeing, oh, so that's what is being celebrated, then I have to be that. Hey, we are really creating a generation of people who are going to suffer.
So we also need to have a change in the type of content that we show on TV.
Exactly.
So I know we are going to get to your film on air, but now that, because you're speaking now, like getting stuff on TV and how challenging it is that something that you tried to do with on air?
No, that one we decided, let's just try our own thing. It's like Fubo, yani, for us by us.
Oh.
So let's try our own thing. We see what happens, because if someone keeps telling you no, then you start your own, like how Jay-Z did with Rockefeller. Nobody wanted to sign him. They're like, what will you do with this guy? We don't know what to do with Jay-Z. So with this little drug money he had, they invested, they started Rockefeller.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and look at him now. He charted his own path. They decided, okay, like even for example, someone like Beyonce, you can't call her for a concert. She organizes her own concert. She can't afford that, right? Because she's like, hey, let me do my own thing, but
She's above your pay grade.
exactly. So now we decided similar. Let's do our own thing. We see what happens. Because if they're telling us there's no audience for this out there, let's find out for ourselves. If we see there's no audience, we'll come back and say, actually, there's no audience. But let's find out for ourselves. So that actually now let's put it out there and see what happens.
Yeah. Okay. Then in your previous experience, I mean, it's like 2 decades of experience. How have you tried to get stuff on TV before, and how did that go?
We've actually supplied content to TV stations. Like for us, like it's something we've done.
Oh, like
it's not
full shows.
Yeah, full shows, like even 150 episodes.
Oh.
Yeah, we've done to Joanna, we've done couple show, we've done all the shows I've told you about, the music shows. So we've been actually we've supplied, there's no TV station or platform we haven't supplied content to, right? But then they pretty much dictate what needs to go on. So you don't have the creative control.
So is it like you come up with an idea, they accept, and then they take control? Or?
Exactly. And the IP becomes theirs.
Oh, okay.
So that's another thing.
Goodness. So speaking of IP, because that's now an interesting thing, do we have IP protection laws here?
Yes.
And when you interact with them, is it something that works?
Yes, they're very helpful, especially Kekobo. Very helpful. Like they really help. Like all these things are there. It's just that we don't know. It's just a phone call, and they will help you. Like if you need even a lawyer to actually do for you, like you have a copyright query that you need something clarified, they have lawyers. That's their job. Like it's their mandate. Oh, you're a creative. You have okay. And the lawyer actually talks to you. They'll talk to you and tell you, this is what you need to do. This is da-da-da-da-da. And they give you, before you go sit with the lawyer in Tao, you've angusha 10 G just for knocking at the door.
But your experiences sound like something out of this world, because you are the type of person to just ask and stuff happens for you.
But it's there. Nobody is willing to ask because people already presuppose that it won't work. I can't go to see these guys of Gaba. These guys they won't even listen to me. But that's their mandate. Like KFCB, KFC, Youth Nineveh, all of those people, they listen. Like that's what their core mandate is.
So your takeaway from this part is, all we need to do ourselves as creatives is to also just go and ask.
That's pretty much what it is.
Just go and ask.
Yeah.
Let's see how it works out for us.
Yeah.
Because I mean, this guy's just going through life so like on easy mode, I'd call it.
It's cheat codes.
Cheat codes.
Yeah, cheat codes.
Cheat codes. Left, right, back, forward.
Yeah.
So now when it comes to the experience you've had previously, how has that helped you in the creation of this film? Because I understand that this is like your first feature film.
Yes, where I'm actually helming. I've been on other feature films, so I understand the process. So this is one that I'm actually helming. So I've just taken all the experiences that I had, because everything that we're doing all through the years, we're building up to this. So all the experiences I gathered on shooting 150 episodes with quick turnaround time, it helps us not even do a film, because now we understand we know the cheat codes. For us to be able to shoot it, we know, because that experience we've had. So it's actually been whatever we had done previously, this is the culmination, right? So everything else has just been like a teacher. We have been learning.
Would you like delve into some of those like experiences you've had? Like, yes, you've shot 150 episodes, but like what position were you playing, and what did that teach you in that experience?
So I was the DOP, and also now I was like the producer. So like now I'd understand now budgeting, I do logistics, I'd understand how to move, like I know how to plan my crew, I know how to DOP. So like it taught me a lot of those, the core basics of how to handle a production in terms of my finance and the actual production. So once you have those two, no one can bullshit you because you know, like, hey, no, maybe I know this thing, how these things are done, and I understand the whole workflow because I know in terms of I can do sound editing, I can do video editing, I can do lighting, I can do camera. So for me, it's I can know if everyone's department and understand their challenges and accommodate them. So when we're filming, it's much easier because I know if someone for lights tells me I need 10 minutes for this setup, I understand because I've done it.
Oh yeah, that's
so
why
I know.
That's why you're having a very easy conversation with our director.
Yeah.
Like certain terms that we have never even heard of, just casually dropping them. But that's amazing. So you've held different positions in different workplaces.
Yeah.
So okay, could you give us a highlight of one of the best places you worked and what you did?
Productions, or I've never worked for anyone.
Oh, maybe, wow.
yeah. So pretty much it's been collaborations. Yeah. So people will hire me to execute their projects. So that's how it's always been. Yeah. So I've never had like
an employer.
Yeah. No. So that's how it's been.
Amazing.
Yeah. So everything has been. I don't know. Like I haven't like. It's been fun. I like what I'm doing because I'm doing what I like. So it's been really, really fun. Like I've been enjoying myself and I've been learning throughout. So like everything has been a highlight reel. Like I don't know how to answer like which one was the most fun production.
Or,
the most fun. Hey, it's like telling me now which toy do you like the most? Which is your favorite child?
Wow, they're all your kids.
Yeah, man. Like all of them have been. I've never had a production where I've not enjoyed myself. And if it's a documentary shoot where we're traveling, I've always enjoyed myself. I say, even if no matter where we go, we are having fun. We're not performing. We're not doctors. We're not doing surgery. Like people's life are in the balance because of what we're doing. Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained?
Isn't that why you're here? So that's what we provide. It's just a relief and entertainment. We're not saving people's cutting up someone on the doctors have it different. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I think we'll go on a commercial break, and then as we come back, now we can jump in on your feature film On Air.
Yeah.
We can delve in and now see what it is about.
All right, cool.
Good mid-morning crisis from the heart of Nairobi. Watashi wa just an ad, but you may call me John, and this is Geekspeak Radio. So join me every Monday to Thursday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. exclusively on geekspeak.co.ke. See you there. And we are back on the Geekspeak Radio podcast. This is Tuko na Mgeni, and joining us today is Mr. Edu-Gee, one director, editor, colorist,
Jack of all trades
within the industry.
Yeah.
And as you said, like all that experience has now culminated in what we experienced now a week ago, from when we are shooting this podcast. So On Air. First of all, can I just give you my opinion about On Air? Because it's a very unique film that I've experienced, especially that is locally made. And it's also very close to me at heart because, one, I'm a radio presenter. That story resonated a lot. And also, I'm from Buru.
So everything just came together. Like, so, were they talking about me?
Like, Kwani, is it my experience that they're trying to give? But it's a very interesting story because there's a lot of things that I noted creatively, like creative choices that were made. And those are things like shooting in one location, having very few actors on screen, and having main actors primarily be just voice actors. Those are incredible choices, as you said, in a market where people expect a certain thing. So what I experienced was very personal. It was very unique, and also to be able to capture a true story in its real essence, because that's also something very brave. it was an experience that I don't think I can match to any other film that I've watched, not only creatively but emotionally, because what was able to be brought out was actually very real. Like we said, some of them were just voice actors, but we felt their impact. We felt like we knew the characters. And that is something that I will say I know is very difficult to do, especially as a director, because even when you have really good actors, I mean, we've seen really good actors fumble the ball or not even act to their full potential because of bad directing. So that is something that, you know, I'll have to say I commend you on that, because if you guys watch the film, first of all, read the review on our website, shameless plug, get an idea of what the film is about and the hype that we got, and the hype I still have even during this podcast. Get to watch the film, because we'll be dropping a spoiler review at some point. But what I'll tell Edu is what he was able to bring out on screen, the emotion, the gravity of the situation, the voices, the acting, that was something really, really incredible. And when you say you have 20 years experience and the way you work with the different departments, it actually really, really shows through the film. And so after all that, I'd like to ask, deciding to do this film on air, deciding to make it real, based on a real story, and also just limiting to one location. What was going through your mind for you to make those decisions?
Okay. So first and foremost, thank you for the compliments. I'm glad you enjoyed the movie in touching that type of way. So actually it's something that we've been marinating for like 10 years. Yeah, so we had this story like, okay, how can we tell this story but it would be your typical just crime story? So the angle of choosing actually voice was very brave and like, let's see what we can do with this. So that when we informed the choice, also just from influences from movies where they've shot from one location. So we took those influences and said, okay, if these movies have worked, why can't we try one here and we see what happens? And now the challenge was now to get people who can actually now bring the emotions with their voice. So for us now we had to really, because all of them were first-time actors. None of them have done anything before this.
Wow.
Yeah. Most of them were like, they just came for the audition and just picked them. Because we said even one of the things we're saying again, okay, let's do new faces first and foremost, new voices. So most of them were first-time actors, especially the voice actors. They'd never done voice acting before. So he's sitting down with them and then telling them, channel this emotion whenever you're saying this. So at each recording, because we did the recordings for Ondivo in a day, and then also now for the police commissioner in one day.
Oh wow.
They never met, so none of the actors were meeting.
Yeah.
Until now, they come now to see now the film is, and they say, okay, that was a girl played Ondivo. That's the girl played.
Because actually, I remember that from the premiere. A lot of them were saying it's their first time meeting each other, and it was also their first time seeing the film.
Yeah.
Which was really interesting, a really interesting dynamic. Because now, so now let's say someone like Ondivo, even like through the auditions and you know, like rehearsals and stuff, like they've never interacted.
No. Literally auditions, they came separately. So how we had structured the audition is that so and so comes at this time, but you can't know who's playing what role. So we had it was close. So let's say we had like 4 Ondivos. So we listened to his voice and I'm like, hey, this guy is the one who sounds hood, yani, like, yo, this guy. The other guy is there, but then I'm like, nah, this guy, there's just something. There's the way he just speaks. He can bring that desperation, like, you know, it's about to reach the end. Yo, I need to be saved. I need someone to save me. And then the police commissioner, he was a friend of mine. He is a friend of mine. And I know his dad. So his dad was a colonel in the army.
Oh, wow.
So he used to have this real, you know, that voice where you know, oh, shit.
It's very commanding.
Yes. Like, even without, you know, like, I just told him, okay, now channel your dad. So he's like, okay, sawa. Now you've given me the brief. That's all I needed to hear. So now when he came to do the reading, like, it was so easy. We so easy. The other actors, we actually did many table reads. And we knew we had something good when you could see their emotions. like already they became, in Kenya what people usually do, they do the lines, they don't become the character.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing we told them. Be the character, don't do the lines.
Don't do the lines.
Be the character. Here people rehearse lines. They
Yeah,
never
but
do the character.
It's I usually when I look at it, I usually say like that's from the theater background thing.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of actors come from theater, and so there's a distinction that needs to come between theater acting and acting on film.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how did you direct that, or was that something that you faced a challenge with?
For this movie?
Mhm.
No, because we instilled it in them that you have to be the character. Like understand your character and react like your character would, not the lines. Even if you see, if you feel like the lines are there to guide you. You feel like the character won't say it in this way. Say it like how the character would say it. So we infused a lot of because Matayu is actually from Mombasa. Him is born and raised in Mombasa. So we actually had to calm down to film in Nairobi. And then the rest are from here. Like we actually auditioned new faces. Like we'd never worked with them before.
Yeah.
Apart from Matayu, I'd worked with him on one of the series we were doing, like in 2017. And I saw him on set. I'm like, he had a small role. And I'm like, hey, one day we'll do something with you. So I gave him a call in 2022 and he was like, yeah, that's it. I told him now this is the phone call we spoke about 5 years ago. So let's do this.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So and then now for the rest of the cast, because okay, at least those ones met.
Yeah.
But how did they interact with like the voice?
So when we were recording, because we actually recorded the voice artist first, and then now we'd go into studio and play back whatever we recorded. So literally the presenter is interacting with the actual
voice. Oh, okay.
So even the emotion, that's why you could see, like they could be able to, it's as if they're talking to each other, but during the studio it was recorded, pre-recorded. But you could see the emotions even from Rango, the radio presenter. It's like he was actually a live phone conversation happening.
So was it easier for Rango or Ondivo? Because at least Rango kind of has the recordings to work with. Did Ondivo have the same? He had to actually act the part, imagining what the reaction would be.
Yes.
So
we'd sit with him, like literally I'd walk him through, like we'd walk through the script, like, okay, this beat, this is how you need your emotions are now. You've just left this, you're now here, and this is where you're going next. So that's how it would work. So we'd be like, okay, now here's your beat, so do it like this. Then he does it in his own way. Like, okay, tell him, okay, do 2 more takes, and then now he does it, and then let's move on to the next one. Like that. That's how we were working. It was very systematic.
Amazing. And since you're talking about your cast very passionately, and you've said a couple of times, we are working with new faces. What is it like within the industry for people looking for such opportunities? Because again, mainstream, we are kind of used to the same faces. So people now like Ondivo and Rango and all the characters within your film, when they move on from this, is there an opportunity for them to get into another production, or how easy is it for them to do this within the industry?
Hopefully, I'm hoping this will open doors for them, so that because they have demonstrated their range and their capability. So the idea is to bring in more people so that we have a bigger pool, right? So it's like, okay, now you guys, this is your opportunity. Our job is to hold the door open. You guys go through and make sure you hold the door open for someone else. So that's our philosophy, right? So we've held the door open for you. Go hold the door open for someone else, so that they can come through. So we are hoping that this, and I'm sure it will generate interest for them. I hope it brings in more work. That's what we are hoping for. I'm sure I'll work with them in future, because like you notice, like Scorsese will always work with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah. There's always
like no matter you like, do you want to do this role? If he says no, he gives it to someone else. But he's always, So there are those, you'll always say, okay, now you see, like for someone like Matayo, I'd always like, if I have something, he'd be my first, like, right of refusal. Do you wanna, if he says Z,
then you get someone else.
Yeah.
So is that you have a production house?
Yeah.
What's your production house?
The umbrella is called Bingi Media.
Bingi Media.
Yeah, but then for the film it's called Wabe Films. Yeah.
So with Wabe Films, that's your production house. That's what you do. Would you say that one of your main goals is to also give opportunity to such young actors and actresses coming into the industry? And how do you plan to do that differently from what is currently there, like the system that is there?
So we'll encourage, so long as you have, they say hard work over talent any day. So long as unaona unajituma, like we look at you and then you say, okay, you fit this role. Actually, we'll pick new people over like, because the guys who have been there for so long, they get all these opportunities. So I'm like, okay, now let's try and give guy opportunities to these new people. So we are always open to actually new, fresh kids on the block to come through and showcase their talent.
What advice would you give them, like when they're looking for these opportunities?
Hard work over talent.
Hard work over talent.
Yeah, any day. Hard work over talent.
Yeah. And now to your, let me say, peers, people who are in your position where they are able to provide this type of opportunity. From what was there and what you are aiming to achieve, what would you tell them?
I tell them, so if you have the creative control, get new faces. Because most of the time they don't have that creative control. The distributor will come and tell you, we want so and so in this role. So they actually come and tell you, they play, and in fact even they're involved in the process of choosing the actors. So you see, it's not at your own free will. No. So long as they are paying for that production, they have that capability of saying no, so and so can, no, we don't want to work with, no, we don't work with so and so. Literally that has happened in this country. So if so long as you're in control and you own the IP, you have like creative control, recommend, just bring in new faces. Yeah.
And that's also a good point to touch on, because you say that this has been your baby for like 10 years. In terms of now those challenges, in terms of getting now those funding, getting the people in, what challenges did you face as you were making this production?
So let's say I'm trying to remember like a really big challenge, because funding,
again, things come easy for you.
No, funding, I just went at, because we did a whole write-up, and I approached a couple of investors, and they were willing. So we also self-funded. Most of it was self-funded, but then some of it was funded by other investors, and they were willing. So you see, because they say, I believe in you. That's what they were saying. So they were like, I believe in you. Don't even send me the write-up. I believe in you. So that's when, because also the years of building that relation and how you've treated people, and now, so they like have that belief in you. They're like, no. You want? Okay, sir, I believe in you. Here. So that's how it was. So it wasn't difficult per se, because it was just, I have this idea. What do you think? You'll get your nose, but your nose don't discourage you. In fact, they encourage you, because you just need that 1, 2, 3, 4 people to say yes, and you're good to go. Because otherwise would have been waiting there saying, man, we can't shoot this thing. You guys are giving. No. Like, let's do this. And everyone who came on board, like especially my friends, like guys were actually very supportive. Like guys would even rock up on set just for the moral support. And as our set was so easy, like you'd come in, or you want to see what we are filming, come. Even bring your toy. Maybe they'll get excited about the film industry.
Oh wow!
So our set was very, like, friends it was open to friends. Like, you come, we are shooting this scene on a Sunday. Yo, come, bring your toy. Maybe they'll be interested in film.
Yeah, that's amazing. And so, well, it looks like you had a very easy time. And so now to the lead up for the first premiere. How was that experience for you?
Interesting. Because we used to do events before, so it's been a while since events. So I had the producer for the film. She's called Atisha. She really held down the fort, like in terms of making sure everything is working, because Naomi was busy with the technical, Luko making sure the movie is perfect for the screen, making sure the marketing is going out. Her now, she was more on ground handling the cinema hall, everything else around that day. So building up actually it was just pretty much two people building up to that whole event.
2 people.
Yeah, we just did it 2 people.
Oh my goodness.
It was just me and Artie and other people helping, but we just did it 2 people.
I mean, congratulations, yo! Like, that is a feat. And we know the back and forth of event organization,
Yeah.
and as 2 people,
We did it 2 people because we actually said, okay, we have a plan, so it's just to follow this plan. There's the ideal and what happens.
yes,
But then so long as you know the ideal and then what happens, as you have a fail safe, okay, if this happens, this is how we'll move. If this happens, this is how we move. So we had those like backups, like okay, if this happens, this even though tutaicheza if this happens. So we had taught these things before, right? So and with the help of Century, Cinemax, Kennedy came through big in a big way, right? They really came through. They're really supporting the local film industry. Now I'm seeing they're coming out even with the Africa Film Week, which is next week.
yes.
Yeah, they're really supportive of the local industry. Like we really appreciate that type of support. I don't think so there's ever been that type of support before, like how they're going out all their way this time. Like
not in cinema, actually.
yeah, not in cinema.
Yeah.
Like especially because I've never seen that type of support. They really came through. So we just did it. We had our own media partners from Capital. So, but most of the work we were doing, just the 2 of us. Yeah, so we pulled it off, just the 2 of us. We executed it. So there's usually those stress for setting up an event.
Yeah.
But we were so like, I don't know, like we're just like, yo, it's out there. There's nothing much you can do. Let's just go with it. No need for stress, no need for pressure. At the end of the day, they say at the end of it all, everything usually works out.
Yeah.
So when you look at it like that, you're like, yeah, everything will work out. Yeah.
This man has a very positive attitude while looking at things, because you receiving a no doesn't look like a big deal. You going out to ask doesn't look like a big deal. He's basically Thanos, just being like, you know what, I'll do it myself in every occasion.
Yeah.
That's really amazing. So now it's been a week after the film launched. We've watched it. You've had my opinion about it. You've read our opinion about it. How has the reception been within this week?
So far it's been great. I can't complain, won't complain. But then this is where now the work begins. Because whatever we're doing before was just a preamble.
Yeah.
Now the real work begins, because now we have to get it out to the masses. Now this is where the real marketing begins.
Yeah.
So we are trying all avenues and angles to make sure that people actually watch this film. Because I think it's important. So we're actually partnering with like-minded people who are willing to say, okay, this is something that we can jump on. Yeah, so our goal is now to make sure it goes out there now. Now it's kusambaza now. So every which way we can tunaisambaza too.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
And you guys, again, make sure you go watch that film. It's at Sun City Radio.
www. You have that thing over
We have that thing over here. It will be written down here.
Yes, down here.
In the description.
In the description.
So, what message or what would you like to say about your film to the people?
I think it's a movie that needs to be watched. Even watch with your ears. That's our tagline. Watch with your ears. And then at the end it says, live like you died yesterday. It shows that never take anything for granted, but pay attention to what's being said. Because a few people actually just, there's a difference between listening and hearing, right?
Yeah.
Hearing is the ability, right? Listening is the intentional choice. Like you're intentionally hearing what is being said. So people need to listen. Like okay, so there are a lot of nuances now in the film that you need to pay attention to closely. Listen what he's saying. What is he talking about? And then now live like you died yesterday. Don't take anything for granted. Nothing's ever promised tomorrow today. So if you can do it today, do it today. Don't say kesho. And then how would you react how would you live if you died yesterday? Like you'd never you'd appreciate every small thing. We take so much for granted, just even the ability of just even walking across Tomboya Street. But there's someone who doesn't have that opportunity. So take it and be grateful for everything that's come your way. So long as you can breathe, you're eating, you have both all your faculties are in place, you have 2 hands to just be grateful. Yeah.
Man, I love the simple take of life from Mr. Edu-Gee. It's very refreshing and mind-opening. Because again, a lot of people struggle with facing rejection. Hearing a no is such a big deal. Going to try ask for help is also such a big deal. But you seem to just breeze through it. Again, it's not like we don't do these things, but you make it look so easy that you don't struggle with it at all. So where did that come from? And like, how do we also get to achieve that?
Experience, and also maybe reading. So especially, like, one thing I learned from, there's a book called Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. He was an FBI negotiator, and he makes one statement that makes really good sense. When someone tells you no, that is the perfect answer. Because you know why? When someone says no, they're emotionally invested. Because that no, when someone they're emotionally invested. So the response for that no is, okay, great, you've told me no. Sindio. So how can I turn that no into a yes? What do I need to do to turn that no into a yes? People will give you the answer. They'll tell you, do this, do this, do that, do this. Oh, that's what you want. Then you do it. And you're like, so now you have no reason to tell me no. Because whatever you told me to do, I've done. Exactly. So people will tell you no, and then ask the question, how do I turn that no into a yes? And they will tell you, literally, they will tell you, do this, do that, do this, do that. Oh, okay. And it's that simple. So even no's are very, yes, quick yeses, they're good, but then someone is dismissive. Yeah, sawa. But then when someone tells you no, say, okay, fine, nah, it's okay, you've told me no, but okay, how can I turn that no into a yes? And people will tell you the answer.
It's all about outlook, guys.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get to now know you a little bit. You said that you got there are films that influenced how on air looks like. Could you give us like a top 3 list of the movies that influenced the look and feel of on air?
Obviously, I think Quentin Tarantino's stuff. From Kill Bill to Pulp Fiction to Hateful Eight. You can even see from the color palette. It's pretty much from what Quentin has done. There's this one, Phone Booth. Don't know if you remember that. Where it's called Colin Farrell, I think. Where it happens in a phone booth.
In a phone booth, yeah.
Yeah, the whole movie's in a phone booth. There's that one. There's this other one, the new one. I can't remember for... Jake, his name is hard. Jake
Gyllenhaal
or something. Where he's a dispatcher. He's a dispatcher, and then all he's receiving are just calls about this lady being kidnapped. So that also influenced that. I'm like, yo, that's a really dope idea. Like that's a really dope idea. So I was like, okay, let me take from that, and then I see what we can do on our end. Because as guys, people like, yo, so now you need to go shoot the other side. I'm like, no, let's make it simple. You know that thing of Steve Jobs' kiss. Keep it simple,
keep
stupid.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah. So let's keep it simple. There's no use of overcomplicating things. Let's see what we can do. Let's experiment, and we see what we can do. If it resonates, then we have something. Right, so this is more or less like we're experimenting. Well, let's see what happens.
Nice.
And put it out there.
Nice.
Yeah.
And now your top 5 must-watch list.
Hey. That one even I haven't thought of. You may just watch movies because I just find them. There was one I was watching the other day. It was Steven Spielberg's first movie. It was done in the 70s, I think. When you're still a young, and you shot it in 10 days.
What?
It's about this car. This guy is driving from I don't know where to going back home, and then there's a truck that's trying to run him off the road.
Mhm.
So that it becomes now a fight between the car, him, and that truck driver. It's very scary. I forget the name. Man, like, yeah, I'm not so good with movie names, but I just know, okay, that one I enjoy.
We're on the same
That one I
page.
enjoyed. I watched the other day. I was rewatching Kevin Spacey. I know he was cancelled, but he's a good actor. I was watching.
It's the art, not the person.
Usual Suspects.
Usual Suspects.
That's fire. Training Day. Denzel. That's fire. Because I've just been rewatching now. In fact, even I watched Terminator.
Oh wow!
I was like,
It seems like you've been on a classics.
Yeah.
Binge.
I was watching Terminator. I was like, yo, I need to watch Terminator again. So maybe I understand it better. So I was watching Terminator. Yeah, so I think those are 5.
I think those are 5.
Yeah.
We'll count them on edit.
Yeah, on edit. On edit. Make sure they're 5. Just add one more. Yeah.
Awesome. So, what plans do you have after on air?
Immediate plans,
Mm-hmm.
marketing and distribution for on air.
Mhm.
Those are immediate. Moving forward, we intend at least to do. We are hopefully trying to do a film each quarter, each not a quarter, each half of the year. In 6 months, at least a film. So that's our next outlook. So we are looking at another horror film. We want to target it for Halloween.
Nice.
So we want to debunk this myth that Kenyans don't like horrors. So we're like, that's what you said. Let's see.
I will tell you, I know people love horror. I will tell you, I know people love found footage.
Yeah.
Especially found footage for some reason. I don't
Yeah.
know if I'm the only one with that one, but I know that is something that a lot of Kenyans like, because that's something a lot of my friends like. So I'm looking forward to it. Do you already have like a...
Yeah, you already have. Actually,
A
the
working
stories are...
script
Yeah,
and
you know,
story?
it's like an outline.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I should give it away now or we just wait.
Well,
just
I
wait.
mean, you can give us a small tease.
It's called The Ghost Train, Spirit of Jaguba. Yeah.
Interesting.
So it's a ghost train.
Ghost tree.
Yeah.
Is it based on African mythology?
It's actually not African
like
mythology.
the ghost of...
No, it's actually now. It's just like... No, I'll give away the story.
Okay.
But it also, let's just say it happens in one location.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this time it's actors. Yeah. So it's just like it's
You said Halloween?
Yes.
Oh my
Because
goodness.
now if we start shooting in maybe Feb, God willing, start shooting in February, and then post-production, and then now the build-up, and then ready for release. We can always at least now push it to then, because that's the best time. In fact, most horrors come out during Halloween.
Yeah.
That month of October. So we are targeting also. Let's see if everything goes according to plan. There's also some animation we were looking to do actually. We're actually looking to do either. Also, there was not even animation, a hip hop musical.
Mm-hmm. Hip hop musical.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's something that we wanted to do now the first half.
Mm-hmm.
So as we're doing Ghost Train, there's that musical that we are planning for. It's a hip hop musical. So we've just been bouncing off ideas with Steph Capella, because now he seems like because he's also on the soundtrack for On Air.
On air, yeah.
And I told him, we need to do something, like, what ideas do you have? And then he just said, he just chomwada a random idea. I'm like, we can do like a hip hop musical with that idea that you've just said. We just have something in the theater, National Theater, wherever, whichever hall, and then we just do like a week of him doing that musical with his music as the backdrop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
so he's marinating on the idea now, because he has a theme that he wants to use. So I'm like, marinate on that idea. Whenever you're ready, you come through, we'll flesh it out.
So that's something that will be like 2026.
No, that's next year.
Next year?
Yeah, because he's been working on it for a couple of months now.
Okay.
So now once we have that, and now you see with the currency that we've built with On Air, it's much easier to knock on doors and say, this is what you're trying to do. Yeah. And also, yeah.
Because they sound very exciting. It's just that I'm looking. It's like, oh my god, why are they so far away? Like, I want to watch it now.
next year, because the him, in fact, we want to do that theater one first, and then now we release now the horror, and then now we do another graphic novel, and then we do another animation that I was telling you. So the animation, actually, that I can tell you what it's about. So we got it's Akokan. I don't know if you guys read a series called Akokan, where the grass has grown.
No, I don't believe I'm familiar with
So it's
that
an
one.
African mythology. It used to be done by this Ghanaian, but used to be in Kenya. I forget his name. Or it's published by who even? I forget the name. So we actually
Editor Google.
Google like that guy
Wake
for
up.
that guy for what's his name for JRE for Joe Rogan. There's a guy who always able to check that shit and then they talk about it in real time. Yeah. So it's I forget Frank Odoi. It was done by Frank Odoi. It used to run in the Nation. In the early 2000s, and also they turned it into a graphic novel. It was published, but I think he passed away. So I think it's the rights are owned by this publishing house. So now I've been in talks with them. In fact, when we spoke, and they're like, yeah, you can turn it into an animation for TV, because we don't have actually African superheroes. The ones that was given to us was Wakanda, but they're like it's dope, but
I mean, we don't speak like this.
Exactly. It's dope, but then let's do something that actually
Is
it's
African,
done by an African. Like literally, you're seeing the stories that is Chomwang, even how the mythical things, like how people change into ogres. Like like that story was told really well. In fact, when we used to cut, because it used to come just one strip, like 4 strips. You cut. So now I used to have I used to collect all of them. So now last year or the year before is when I saw the publishers and I told them, I'm trying to turn this thing into an animation. So they're like, okay. So we are still in the process of, so I went quiet for a bit. I'm sure they're wondering, where did this guy go? Tell them I was going to look for money. Now we are ready.
So the production for that as well has kicked off?
No, it's pretty much now it's in the pre-prod stage, where we are looking at now how we can now bring it to life, because that story it's really dope. Like if the comics the book is actually being sold. You can actually buy an Akokan book from, I forget the publishing company, but you have to go. The problem is that you have to look for it, but it's a really well told. Even the drawings, the coloring, it's done really well. I'm like, this thing can be turned into a show or even a movie. It's fire.
Dude, it sounds like you're doing really incredible stuff.
Trying to.
Well, do or do not, there is no try, as Master Yoda said.
Yeah,
so you are doing incredible stuff.
Thank you.
And I am looking forward to everything, especially that animation.
Yeah.
I'm a very big animation fan, so I am definitely looking forward to that. Now, you're someone I think we can sit down and chat all day, but I know time is of the essence. We also do, just start wrapping this up. What parting shot would you have for the creative industry as a whole, from the creators to the consumers, where the industry is now?
Like I say, art is very subjective.
Yeah.
So one thing that the philosophy I live by is one that has actually the one of I like what I'm doing because I'm doing what I like. That is it. So like what you're doing and you'll do what you like. Because a lot of guys are coasting through life and they don't really enjoy what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're just there to pass time until they leave this earth, and then they don't leave a mark. So what you be remembered for, what would you want to leave behind, So live like you died yesterday again. And to all the creatives out there, hard work will always beat talent. Don't let nobody lie to you. Hard work will always beat talent. Yeah.
True, coming from a true industry mogul. This has been Geekspeak Radio Podcast. I've been just a nerd here with Edu-Gee on our first episode of Tuko na Mgeni. Tumekunywa chai.
Tumekunywa chai, man. Unajua kwanza mimi ni Mluya.
Hey!
Niliuliza boiled maize wakasema unachoma, you'll make the room smell.
Ukichoma boiled maize inakuwa mahindi choma.
Kama mahindi choma.
But asante sana. We hope to have you again.
For
As
sure.
you said, you're somebody tunaweza kaa chini. By the way, we talk all day. Before we even started recording, even when we met at the premiere, tulikuwa tu chatting. So if you meet this man out there, please just be inquisitive, ask him questions. Alafu tuambie mali wanaweza kupata pia.
Hey, mazee usipatikani, real G's move in silence.
Hey, and it's the real Edu-Gee.
At the real Edu-Gee IG, pretty much also on Facebook or TikTok. Yeah. So that's just, us guys, we move in silence. We just come out once in a while, you know, to create that, like, hey, also scarcity breeds that nini, so you don't have to always be in people's faces all the time because they get used to you. And then in Nairobi, everyone is a celeb.
Yeah. Wow.
So like, msichana tuonyesha nini, kwani Jay-Z can walk down the street and he's like, look at Jay-Z, kwani he thinks because he's married to Beyonce, we care. You know?
And you're the Kenyan.
Kenyans, hey, man, everyone is famous.
Yeah, by then everybody is famous.
Everyone
in this
is
Nairobi.
famous. You're telling them nothing.
In this Nairobi. But we're all trying to gain attention.
Exactly.
So walking down the street.
Yeah. So now how do you make noise in a room full of people shouting? How do you stand out?
Stay quiet.
Exactly.
Hey, nuggets of wisdom, my guys. Nuggets of wisdom. Na hiyo, I think, tutawachia hapo.
Asanteni sana.
Thank you so much for coming. Hope to have you again.
For sure. Anytime.
Definitely.
In fact, you guys should come even to our pod also.
Find me there. Find me there.
Because we also have one, Sun City. We have a podcast. It's going to be... those are the collateral around this film. So there's actually a podcast that's called Sun City Radio where
you made it a thing.
Yes. So we actually have the transmission table whereby we had a round table with the actors, round table with the crew.
Nice.
And so we are just going to be continuing as we do round tables now with different people. Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. Count me in. Count us all.
Or you guys, we can talk about even the gaming that gaming thing.
Yeah.
What you guys are doing, I think is amazing.
Oh, dope.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it. So there's a lot more to look forward to between Geekspeak and Edu-Gee.
Yeah.
And your studio and everybody involved in this.
Yeah.
I mean, keep it right here on Geekspeak Radio, geekspeak.co.ke, and Geekspeak Radio X on X. But basically, that is all we have for today. It's been an amazing session. Again, I have been Jan. This has been Tuko na Mgeni episode 1. Catch you on the next one. Bye.